so much butter that it's like disgusting to touch.
It's so soggy.
You're slipping and sliding all up in that bag of popped corn.
Although, would I do a slip and slide with popcorn butter? Maybe I would.
Oh.
You just like set that up in your backyard and you just do a little slip and slide with some popcorn butter. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it.
What's that movie? Is it ahead? I'll ask her later, she'll say I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. This is a podcast where we bring people on the show and we get them really drunk and they tell them about a movie that I've never seen before. I'm your host, Alenka Zach.
And I'm here also.
And that's William Innes. Every time he tries to trick me like he's not in the room, but he is. Actually, fun fact, we're doing a fun social quarantine episode, so I will admit Will is actually not in the room with me.
That's right. I am cozying up on my couch by myself for the first time.
It's the first time he's ever been alone. It's been a difficult time for him. We also... we also are missing our other person in the room, which is our guest today.
Super exciting, everyone. We have our very first quarantine guest, Rachel with a B, Barna.
Thank you for having me. This is also my first podcast, so I feel like it's weird that my first podcast is in quarantine, but what you gonna do?
It seems right, though, doesn't it?
Now I know how to set up a mic, so...
Yeah, after 40 minutes. Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry.
You have a mic, you can be a star. That's what my mom always told me.
Yeah, will never get this mic back. It's mine now.
Okay, you guys. We are talking about the Haven't Seen It podcast, which is what we're doing today. In case you guys didn't notice, this is the Haven't Seen It podcast. And just to reiterate what I said earlier, it's a podcast where we bring people on the show, we get them really drunk, and they tell me about a movie that I've never seen before. Today's movie is a movie that I've heard of. I'm pretty sure there might be an Amanda Bynes movie of similar title. Don't quote me on that. But the movie we're seeing, don't look at me like that. Maybe I'm just thinking of She's the Man and I'm very confused. Anyway,
also a great film.
Movie we're talking. No. I have seen that one. But the movie we're talking about today is 10 Things I Hate About You.
1999 classic.
I was curious about the year. Thank you.
I will say what you're thinking of is the fact that 10 Things I Hate About You is a retelling of Taming of the Shrew, a Shakespeare play, and She's the Man is a retelling of which one? It's not the same play, but Ophelia, it's a different Shakespeare play.
Yeah. Nope. What is that one?
No, that's Hamlet.
It's the one with the twins and the Merchant of Venice.
You know what? It's the one where, let me just summarize the plot real quick of She's the Man. Whatever Shakespeare play it is, it's the one where there's twins. One of them needs to go to college. The other stays home. The other one has to dress up as a boy to go to his college. Roommates with Channing
classic
Tatum.
Shakespeare play
they fall in love
where they have to go to college.
And then
I also, two of us here went to theater school, but we still can't figure out the Shakespeare play that She's the Man is based on.
I won. No, it's not because I never
It's
read
the
it.
one where there's gender bending.
We did it at school too, and I don't remember what it's called.
Okay, wait, this is perfect opportunity for some engagement. Guys, if you know the play that She's the Man is based off of, leave us a comment.
That's not even the movie
Drop
we're
us a
talking
line.
about.
I know, but I want
We may do that movie even though Alenka has seen it.
Oh my god.
It's gone.
Well, guys, speaking of college, we're talking about a movie that takes place just before college.
Very nice segue.
That was my
high school movie. Is it a high school movie?
Oh.
Sure is. Oh,
it's
yeah.
A high
it
school
is.
Movie? They're in high school?
Yeah.
Wow, they're
in
look
high school.
old
Yeah.
for high school. I know.
Some of them do.
I know that Heath. Oh wait, pause real quick. Okay, Heath Ledger's the lead, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Also, is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this movie?
Yes. He's a tiny baby.
Okay. They look so similar, though. Do you think when they
the
met
adult
on set,
version,
they looked at each other and they were like, "Wow, we look alike"? No thoughts on that?
If
Okay.
that's
I
what you
don't know if
feel
that- I don't-
in your heart happened, then yes.
Okay, that is what happened then. That's what I like.
all right, that's what happened. I believe it.
Is Mandy Moore in this movie?
No.
She's not. Oh, it's that girl that's not Alicia Cuthbert. Is that her?
Do we tell you?
I think we
Yes.
tell her.
It's
Please.
Julia Stiles.
Who's Alicia Cuthbert?
She's
Is that a
Canadian.
person?
She's Canadian.
Yeah.
She's on. She was on The Girl Next Door. That was like her breakthrough. But she was on Popular Mechanics for Kids with Jay Baruchel.
Oh,
Fun fact.
sickening. I remember that. She's
She's in Happy Endings too, which is a great show.
Ooh.
I don't know any of these. Not gonna lie to you. I'm quickly Googling her, and yeah. So
She was in Save
this
the Last
other girl,
Dance.
this Styles girl. No, this Styles girl. She looks like a mismatch of Mandy Moore and Alicia Cuthbert, right?
I guess I could accept that.
I think
Guys,
her
if you
face
think Alicia Cuthbert and Mandy Moore could produce Julia Stiles, leave us a line. Put a comment down there.
Oh, Mandy Moore does not look like what I thought she did. Never mind. I've been completely mistaken. This lady's got a softer face than this person. So,
Good
anyways, since we're already kind of talking about it, I know very little about this movie. I know there's a scene with a band and some bleachers.
Mhm.
I can't remember the
Mhm.
song that's
Very famous
that's
scene.
sung though, or that's come out. They do sing.
Oh, I
it.
will scream it
Yeah.
once we get to that part. Don't you worry.
I'm excited. I can't recall what it is. I don't even know why I know that. I can
It'll be
only
a
assume this is a
beautiful-
rom-com.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a rom-com. It's a teen comedy, which
teen
most
rom-com.
teen comedies are romance. Yeah.
I don't even know what like
Yeah.
makes it a teen movie. Like I know High School Musical, obviously teen movie, but like
Oh,
what?
I think right there, high school. That's what makes it a teen
Yeah.
movie.
They're
but wasn't
teens.
Dawson's Creek in high school. Wasn't One Tree Hill?
Yeah,
in
and that's
high
a
school?
teen drama.
They're teens.
Is
That's
it?
all teen.
I didn't watch any of
It's a-
those
it's a
either.
teen drama for
so I
sure.
just
They do go to college eventually in that show, though.
well, they do in High School Musical too, I think, anyways, as well. So I guess we're all wrong.
Well,
about-
I mean, what's the biggest thing that reminds you of high school?
Oof.
embarrassment, shame, failing grades, pretty much all that.
Wishing for larger breasts was a big thing for me.
Was that? I never wanted that.
It was. It was.
I don't know.
Joke's on
I
me.
don't think I knew why you got them.
Oh, I
I'm curious. We're not in person, and I can't. It's not the camera's not quite set up for that.
I'm not
sort of
gonna.
view.
Lenka can't check
I'm
yet.
not gonna
You don't
stand up
need
so you
to.
can
I'm
see
just-
it.
That's fine.
Well, I'm reminded of tequila
Ugh.
when I think of high school.
Nice segue. Well,
Good golden tequila,
Get
It is very
tequila.
good.
which this is a very special drink because it's not a drink. It's not really a made up drink.
It's just tequila.
For this episode, we are just shooting tequila.
Oh, God.
I call it 10 shots I hate about this movie.
So this-
Yeah, Will
That's not to say I hate this movie.
Will and I
Okay.
are allegedly
Good.
friends, but he was like, Rachel, you're doing tequila.
yeah. There was
Friendship
no
over.
discussion. It was just that's okay. We'll be fine.
I think we're gonna get through it just fine.
Oh man.
But now I have a question for you, Will. This
Well-
tequila shooting, this is because it reminds you of high school and that's involved in this film? Or is there a clear reference to tequila in this film that we will discover later?
Well, I'm gonna be truly honest and say that there is a reference to this particular tequila in the film, and myself did not probably drink tequila till like second year university. So,
Whoa.
I don't
Loser.
remember the first time I had tequila, which I think is very on brand for tequila.
No one ever remembers their first.
I remember liking it, and then
No, never liked it. No, never.
I
Mm-mm.
did. I loved
I
it.
feel
and then now I don't love it anymore.
No, you lie.
well, I'm hoping we can bring back that love for it tonight.
We'll associate a new
no.
sensory memory with tequila, and you'll be back on the bottle soon. It'll be fine.
All right.
Every time you shoot tequila, you will think of Heath Ledger, but in like a happy way.
Oh,
Are we
God,
starting this
Dad.
now? Is this the first time that we're doing this?
I
Yeah,
think,
I think that
yeah,
all
we
being
have
said,
10
we should-
shots to get through.
okay. Yeah. This is sickening.
So, for those listening at home, please don't do 10 shots of tequila while you're listening to this episode.
Kids.
We are splitting
Unless-
10 shots amongst the three of us.
Kids, don't do tequila.
Unless you want
We're going to
to.
start with the first shot before we start the movie.
Sickening. Oh, God.
And get your chasers ready. Fuck.
I'm
Okay.
gonna plug my nose and hope that helps.
We're all
All
too
right.
old for this.
Here we
This is not
go.
appropriate.
Okay. Ready?
Okay,
1,
fine.
2, 3.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Good thing is, you guys only need to do 2 more shots throughout this episode. I'm going to take the 4th one.
It's in my lungs.
Will, our hero. Yeah, I think what I hate them or your chaser's like gone now at this point. I feel like the thing that I hate the most about tequila is that I can feel it in the back of when you know you're gonna puke and you start salivating at the back of your throat,
yeah.
like in your you can feel it in your jaw. That's where it hits me. So like I immediately associate it with like, oh, I'm gonna puke.
Yep. Oh, I've
Yeah.
thrown up tequila many a time, let me tell you. Mom, don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you won't be the first one that threw up after one of our episodes.
No. You won't be.
No.
Listen, everybody does
we won't
it
mention
on
their name.
but they know who they are. And we know who you are.
Okay. Rachel,
Yes.
how does this movie start?
This movie obviously starts with the classic 90s scrolling of the credits because we used to do that before the movie instead of after the movie. But really, it starts with these like teen girls driving in their convertible. I've had 1 shot of tequila.
Color.
Fuck.
I will have to mention it does open with the iconic BNL classic
Yes.
1 week.
Classic.
What's that?
classic. Canadian treasure. It's been 1
Oh,
week since
Bare
you looked
Naked
at me.
Ladies.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Got you.
Yeah, BNL.
Please, Will, do not use abbreviations with me, please.
Okay, that's
Barely
a classic abbreviation, though.
Barely.
But yeah, and then it sort of like dissolves into these like pretty classic teen girls listening to it in their convertible, and then the main character Julia Stiles drives up and she's listening to alternative music, so you know
Oh, yeah.
that
my
she's
girl.
different than the other girls. She's alternative and angry.
No, she's listening to angry girl rock.
Yeah.
Angry girl.
Oh yeah, it's, I
Paramore.
don't give a damn about my reputation. And you're just like, wow, that's
Right.
heavy-handed.
I like it.
It's the
like
nail
it.
right on the head.
Yeah, it really does. And then the next scene, you meet tiny Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he's in the guidance counselor's office because he's just transferring to the school. And the guidance counselor is Allison Janney,
who's a legend,
is a joy. And also, I don't know if everyone saw this on Instagram, but she forgot she was in that movie. Someone posted a photo of the opening credits with her name on it. And she was like, what is this from? What movie was I in that I don't remember?
No.
To be fair, it was 1999. So that was a long time ago. It's okay. Allison, if you're listening, it's okay. It's okay that you forgot.
She
I've
has
heard
quite
this
the
name before.
career, so it's okay to forget.
Allison Janney?
Okay, I've heard her name. Who is she? Guys, don't laugh.
Oh, she plays the responsible. She plays the mom in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But she is like a prolific actress.
She was in West Wing for all of the seasons.
You can't.
Nope.
Yeah, you can't reference anything because Alenka won't get the reference.
It's got to be like
she's tall.
Parent Trap. I've seen Jane Lynch.
The Lindsay
Does
Lohan
she look like her? Yeah. Was she in? No, that's she's not the one in Freaky Friday, but she plays a lot of moms too.
Nope, that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. Well, that's
let's just say
really know.
If you saw her face, you probably know her.
Yeah,
I might Google.
Just Google her later.
I'll just take a little quick peek.
Oh my god!
No, later.
But yeah, she's the guidance counselor, but she's writing what seems to be a very smutty novel. Seems to be a Harlequin romance. And so you see her screen, and it's just her typing out a sentence about like an engorged member.
Something steamy. No.
Which, I mean,
always with the member.
She's writing her smutty novel on company time, which I respect.
I was just gonna say,
yeah. So she's
like,
just like,
get it.
She's like, please get out of my office. You're done here. Bye bye.
I'm busy.
And then Heath Ledger strolls in.
JGL's the new kid in town.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care that you're here.
Abbreviations, Will. What did we talk about?
I have to say, this movie is also based in Seattle.
Yes.
So all the shots, I feel very at home because I'm watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy during this quarantine time. So
another one I've not seen.
Oh,
it's
a joy.
Don't even get yourself started.
Do it.
Don't start.
Do it immediately.
Don't start.
It's 17 seasons, each with 25 episodes, and
it'll
they're
take
all
up
40 minutes long.
So much of your time. It's
a commitment.
Perfect.
No, not happening. Can't do it. I got stuff to do, scroll on my phone.
I have stuff to do. Oh, that's funny.
I just can't.
I get it.
Okay, so Heath Ledger
comes in. Yeah. His name is Patrick in the movie, but I will not remember that. Let's be real. And Allison Janney is like, why are you here? What did you do? And it turns out that he'd like put a sausage in his pants and pretended to reveal himself in the cafeteria, which is extremely 1999. And so she's like, okay.
It just means he's a bad boy.
Yeah, he's like whatever, I don't care.
It's just
no, he's a jokester,
Allison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's funny. I'd laugh.
And she's basically like, don't do that. And then he leaves, and then she changes the like whatever word she had for penis in her smutty novel to bratwurst. And that
stop. That's gross.
She's taking,
there you go.
She's learning things from her student and putting it in her smutty novel. Yeah, and then that leads into Oh man, I wish I would read that. No, it doesn't. It
Allison
doesn't
Janney
show
wrote
that.
this, buddy.
Spoiler alert! It does not show
She should.
her getting published in this movie, in this teen rom-com.
Damn it.
But then JGL is assigned a student who like takes him around and tells him essentially about all of the cliques, because teen movies in the 90s were all about, traditional high school experiences and groups and cliques. So he's just like,
yeah. And they did this click scene before Mean Girls did it, because I was watching and I was like, oh, it's like the Mean Girls scene, but then you're like, oh no, but they did it first.
They did.
Yeah.
Except it's two men this time. And one of those men is David Krumholtz, and I miss that guy. He's not in much anymore.
This is one of those movies where you
guys
like recognize a lot of the people but don't know their names.
Yeah.
Or that's what it was.
I
for
don't
me.
know any names that you're saying.
You again might know his face. Just add that to your Google list. But yeah, a lot of the cliques are like not regular ones. It's like the coffee drinkers and the white Rastas, and
What's a white
there is
Rasta?
like the future white people with dreads who are obsessed with like Jamaican
no
culture.
Got you.
White Rastas. They come
They
in later.
smoked
I'm going
one-
to talk about them later.
One joint.
Look, that's one of those
Okay.
things that I can shoot another shot because I hate it. But there's another scene with them, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt eventually sees Bianca, and it has this whole like floaty music, and he's like, that's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And his friend is like, okay, well, she's way out of your league, so don't even try it. Just don't even try it. And also Gabrielle Union is in this movie. She's Bianca's friend, and that woman has not aged a day. Gabrielle, if you're listening, what is your secret? Thank you.
She also plays like the exact opposite of the character she plays in Bring It On.
Yes.
And I was very disappointed.
She is very much the like sidekick best friend in this film, which does not take into account her talents, but I mean, what's she gonna do?
It's a waste.
It's a waste.
Oh, we forgot to say the main character's name is Kat.
I know, we hadn't got there yet.
Oh, we haven't got there. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if they've said her name yet in the movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, they might not have.
Anyway, her name is Kat, as Will so rudely said earlier than I was going to say it. With a K.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Of course.
Because it's what is it in the play? Catherine?
Katarina?
It is it's Catherine, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's with
the play.
It is with a K. I looked it up. But yeah, now they're in English class and they're talking about Hemingway. The teacher's like, what did you think about the book? And Kat is like, well, he's an abuser and it's patriarchal bullshit and he's a misogynist and I don't know why we're reading it. And I was like when I watched this as an adult, I was like, holy crap, it's progressive as hell. But it's in a way that's like making fun of her, where she's supposed to be this shrew because of the play. But now I'm just like, wow, you were so right. And she's just like, why can't we read Sylvia Plath or Charlotte Bronte or other female writers? And the English teacher is black, and he's like, well, why don't we read some books about or written by black men? And then the white Rastas are like, you go, dude, except in their horrible Jamaican accents. And he's like, absolutely not.
Oh, no.
You shut up.
He's like, I'm not even going to touch that.
Wow.
Which, with a scene like that mixed with the feminist stuff, when I'm watching it, I'm like, are the filmmakers what are the film, like, I know that it's like it's supposed to be like bad, but it's not like they, I don't know, it's not like they like,
yeah, it's supposed to make her seem like she's unlovable, essentially.
Harsh.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, that's what I'm like now. So that's unfortunate. And I'm just like, did this film like shape me as a person in 1999? I don't know.
Perhaps.
How are you supposed to know what shaped you as a teen?
Definitely the movies.
Well, those white Rastas, is that your reason to drink right now, or no?
I'm worried
Nice.
it's too early, but I mean, we're here now. So yeah, I am gonna drink.
Not early
two
enough.
more of us.
There's no point in doing it
shots
when
later
we're
in the
getting
movie.
to the end.
Okay. Well, I personally am taking a shot for the white Rastas. Because, yeah, not great, guys. Not great. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that one was easier.
Painful. Oh.
They get easier. It gets easier.
I'm still not excited.
Okay.
Yeah, so big major plot point that basically is revealed is that JGL is in love with Bianca, this young woman he sees
at first sight.
Immediately falling in love with at first sight.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
And David Krumholtz, David Krumholtz, who's his friend, his new friend who's showing him around, he's kind of like this nerdier. He's supposed to be like kind of like a geek.
Yeah.
He's like basically saying like, guys like us don't get girls like that. And then he says, well, I hear she's in need of a French tutor, so that, maybe that's your shot. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And then David Krumholtz goes, what, do you know French? And JGL goes, no, but I'll learn it.
Because he loves her.
Which is, again, a Mean Girl plot point.
Is that what happened? Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Wow. Mean Girls really did copy everything from this film.
They did, yeah.
So I have seen this movie then.
Kind of.
Yeah, you have seen it. If you've seen Mean Girls, you've seen this film.
Nice.
Although, again, it didn't have Heath Ledger in it, which...
No. It didn't.
I think the only movies I've actually seen him in was The Dark Knight and A Knight's Tale.
Oh. A Knight's Tale is...
Two very good.
Great.
Fantastic.
I mean, yeah, he's very rom-com in this. He's also a brunette in this.
Oh yeah,
which I like.
And he's also sticking with his Aussie accent.
Yes.
Say it again?
Think probably he sticks to his Australian accent in this. He's not American.
Good.
He's an Aussie. That comes into play later.
Different.
Oh yeah. We also find out that they're called the Stratford. Their last name is Stratford. Bianca and Kat Stratford.
Very heavy-handed.
And we find out the Stratford sisters are not allowed to date. Their dad doesn't allow them to date.
Mm-hmm. But there's this like
classic
jock/model at school that really wants to date Bianca, and Bianca is, I think, a sophomore, and he's, I believe, a senior. So she is, of course, like, oh my god, this older dude is into me. I want to date him. And her dad is like, no, absolutely not. No, thank you. But eventually he comes up with like, sure, Bianca, you can date if Kat dates. And Bianca's like, well, shit. Like, she essentially sees Kat as this like mutant that will never get a date in her life, except that she's Julia Stiles and she's a pretty person. But she's just like, wow, I'm never gonna date now. Why can't you just be normal and like go on a date so I can go on a date?
And this scene is where they drop the one and only R-bomb, which is something I can drink to.
Yes, please do. I was hoping that someone would drink to that, because when I rewatched this, I was like, I mean, 99, but like, ugh.
Oh, it's used so casually in all those comedies, right up until like 2010. Oh God. Okay, here we go.
I don't know when I'm gonna take my next one. I don't know the plot points in which I should.
Whenever you hear something that you don't like.
Oh, got you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Because it's
okay.
10 shots I
Got you.
hate about this. Yeah.
About this movie. Got you,
Oh,
got you.
man.
I get it. Okay, great.
Also, their dad is like 90s dad. 90s, early
He's
2000s dad. He's
so
a guy
funny.
who is in every movie as the dad.
He's he delivers babies as well. I could not think of the actual doctor word for that, so that's what I said instead. Because I've had 2 shots of tequila. Obstetrician? No.
He's no. I was thinking of
Gynecologist?
OBGYN, but that's no.
No.
But that's not a baby delivery either, is it? Or no, I guess it is.
OBGYN.
I think they just tell you what's wrong with it.
I've been watching so much Grey's, I should know this.
You should, Will. God.
Yeah, why don't you know proper anatomy yet?
But yeah, I mean,
I believe he is a gynecologist.
That's why he's so protective of his daughters, is because he watches people give birth all day, and like including teens, and is like, oh no, my precious tiny babies.
And again, in a roundabout way, he also does the same Mean Girls speech of like, if you have sex, you will die.
Yes,
speech.
Stop.
Yep.
What?
He does. He basically says that.
What the heck, Mean Girls?
So they just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that wasn't called out at all.
I know. Because most people just forget the 90s existed, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Allison
when it
Janney
comes to
did.
movies. Ooh. I am tagging her in this episode.
Don't do it.
Oh no.
Poor sweet
Don't
Allison.
do it.
But yeah, so basically after that, they're trying to figure out, the boys are trying to figure out how to get Kat to date someone so that Bianca could date someone. And like Joseph Gordon-Levitt wants to date her, and this guy, this like horrible guy Joey, also wants to date her. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his friend is are in class and see Heath Ledger like basically stabbing a frog during biology class, and they're just like, that guy's perfect because he's mean and Kat's mean. So they're just like, oh, let's try to figure out how to get him, Patrick, to date Kat. And then they figure out that like maybe they can do it with money. So that's when they like rope Joey in, the horrible dude, because he's rich as hell. And they're just like, hey, if you pay Patrick to date Kat, then you / Cameron, they're hoping, can date Bianca because Kat's going out, so Bianca's going out.
Right.
So then Joey goes out to Patrick and was like, can you please date Kat for money? And he like sort of fights it a little bit, but then is mostly like, sure, because men, I guess. Like,
he offers $30, which is the going rate for a woman, I think, in the late 90s.
That's it.
So,
but then yeah, there's this whole thing where Patrick is just sorry.
For one date, though, that's the idea, right? Not to
well, that's
date
the
her
thing,
for
and then Patrick is
prolonged
like, well, yeah, here's how much things actually cost. And I think he gets up to $50. No, he gets up to 75 and then is countered to 50. And he's like, great, I'll do it. Yeah, he's like, movie tickets are $15, popcorn, that's 75. And eventually it's just like, that'll be $100, thanks.
That's absurd. But it's true. It is true. But God love that popcorn.
It's very true.
Oh, look, a pregnancy announcement on Facebook.
Oh, God.
Wow. What?
Guess who's going to deliver the baby?
The dad from this movie?
This is not... No, never mind.
What? Say it.
I won't. Well,
I want to hear it.
Well, I was trying to find a reason to do my next shot, and I was like, oh, pregnancy announcement.
Do it.
Maybe
Oh my
to
God,
that.
that's the perfect reason to do another shot.
All
I know it's
don't
not
wanna
about the
be
movie,
rude.
but
That's what I was thinking. 10 things I hate about Facebook. Stop sharing.
perfect. I love
There we
it.
go.
I love it.
So at this point in the movie, I was starting to go, why is it called 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, you don't know that.
We will find out eventually.
You don't know that till the
But
very
I forgot.
end.
I don't.
I know. I forgot.
Can I
I
give
forgot
my
about it. And I was like,
guess?
wait, why is this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give
Can
us
I
a
give
guess
my
right now,
guess?
please.
Okay, I have 2 guesses actually. My first guess is that, okay, Patrick, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to date her. I'm going to date her for the money. They start dating or whatever, but he's doing it for the money. So then at the end, there's a big breakup scene. And she's like, oh, but I love you. And he's like, yeah, well, I fucking hate you. And that's what he does. He lays it on her
Wow.
like that. Or the other scenario, I'm guessing that one's wrong. Other scenario is he does it for the money. They actually fall in love. And then some sort of complication happens. And like she has to leave him. Like it's better for her if she leaves him type thing. And he knows it. She knows it. But they don't want to do it. So he's like, okay, I'm totally going to convince her that like I don't love her. So like he's going to do the fake like, yeah, well, I just got another revelation. You know, he gives her a bunch of fake reasons why he hates her. Or third option that just came to me. Maybe they do this fun thing as a couple where they're like, man, I hate that you do that. Oh yeah, I hate that you do that too. Yeah, well, I hate that you do this. And then at the end, it's like their cute little thing, you know? Like people are like, they've got these cute little couple quirks.
You
and
have to
their cute
remember
thing
this is a
just like,
teen rom-com.
oh yeah.
So those seem far and above teen rom-com
I
to
have
me.
no idea
but
what's gonna happen then. I have no idea. I changed
look,
my
I
mind.
liked those predictions personally.
I will say your
could
first two, like we're getting warm. They were getting warm in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is that like, yeah, I feel like you're gonna be disappointed now based on your predictions.
Damn.
No,
this movie's got a lot to live up
it's
to.
One of those scenes that like still makes me cry. I think more so because it's nostalgia and because I'm a tiny baby, but I don't know.
I'm a tiny baby. Just a baby girl.
I am. I cry at everything. Truly. I'm gonna see. Watch me tequila cry when trying to like talk about the end of this movie.
Yes, that's all I want.
That's gonna
Now you
that's
have
what
a
it's gonna
lot to
be.
live up to.
You're gonna be like, come listen to Rachel cry on this podcast.
When's the first like scene, like a first kind of like Patrick trying to seduce?
Well, it's now.
Cat scene.
Because he goes up. They're like
well,
on the.
It's right now.
It's right now. She's playing soccer. They're like, I think it's gym class or something. And he goes up and he's like, "What's up?" I don't think he says "What's up," although that would be extremely 90s, so it might work.
That'd be on brand, yeah.
And she's like, "Why are you speaking to me? No, thank you."
Right.
Makes sense. Then eventually. I don't know if this is when he asks. I think this is when he asks for more money because she's like mean to him. And Joey's like, excuse me, I am still not going out with Bianca. And he's like, yeah, my rate went up. It's going to be $100 a day to date this, once again, shrew. So yeah, but eventually he like essentially stalks her where she's like she has her she has her eye on this.
Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is tutoring Bianca at this point.
Oh, nice.
And Bianca knows that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is trying to help her in getting her sister to date. So she's kind of in on this whole plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't know how, sort of, but she knows that that he's trying to help her. So like they are like trying to like figure out what she likes and what will seduce her best. And he's feeding this information to Heath Ledger's character, Patrick.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, this is one of those things where he's like, she has her eye on this guitar and he's outside the music store and he's like trying to be all charming. And she's like, yeah, this is really working. I want you. I need you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. And that's literally the reading of the line. And
it is.
I swear to God, I said that like that was in my vocabulary for years after this movie. I feel like it was one of those things that my friends and I said to like be funny. So that's like one of those things that's really stuck with me is that line reading. I don't know why.
Wait. So she was being totally sarcastic. She was catching on to the fact that this guy like is trying to, and she's just like,
no, she just still is not interested. And he's like trying to make her interested. And she's like, no. And yeah, that's what leads into them trying to figure out like what she likes so he can do things that she likes because you're supposed to lie to people to make them like you.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
That is the lesson of every
is what
90s
I've learned
movie.
from teen rom-coms and rom-coms in general.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that why I don't have a partner? True. I don't know. Whoever's listening, tell me why I don't have a partner. Is this why?
If you have an opinion about why Rachel isn't a partner, please drop a comment down
that is in
the comment box.
That's terrible.
I lied. Please don't tell me why. I don't want to know why. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to listen to why I'm unlovable. But yeah, so Bianca,
you are a delight, Rachel.
Aw, thanks. I was fishing, so I appreciate it.
I was fishing.
Yeah, anyway. Moving back to the movie instead of my apparent sadness.
Personal life.
Yeah. Once again, Mom, do not listen to this podcast. Yeah, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bianca. I'm just using their like real life names and their character names interchangeably.
Yeah.
That's how this podcast usually goes.
Some of them have character names and some of them are just their real life actor names.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go snooping and they try to figure out what Kat likes so that they can like give that information to Heath Ledger, and they do. And he ends up at what is called Club Skunk. It's an all ages club.
Oh,
I assume
pre this there's a great Canadian reference that they make.
Is there?
They're looking through her clothes and her like bedroom, like Bianca and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt goes, well, do you think she's because they're talking about why she hasn't dated, and then Bianca goes, a Katie Lang fan.
I don't
like lesbian. He's asking if she's a lesbian.
Katie Lang is a famous Canadian singer who's a lesbian.
Nice.
And she's like, no.
I know.
She found something in her room once that made her think that she wasn't a lesbian, but now I can't remember what that is at all.
Oh no, yeah, she's like, and then she pulls out a pair of black panties out of her drawer, and she goes like, no one who. He's like, no girl who doesn't want to have sex buys black panties or something like that.
Or
which
like
is honestly not true because I wear black underwear when I'm wearing black pants.
Oh,
it just makes sense, right?
Like that.
I mean, it's more like with leggings if they're like bordering on see-through. I just pop some black underwear in there.
Pop a black undie poo in there. Makes sense.
Wow. That's going to be my new Twitter bio. Pop some black underwear in there.
So they tell Patrick that she loves Thai food, feminist prose, and angry girl rock.
Yeah.
And that's what leads him to this underground feminist rock club.
But he's basically like, I
Club
can't be
Scott.
seen there. Like, I'm cool and I can't
Why?
go to clubs.
Who is this guy?
Oh yeah, they tell him this in this biker bar where he's playing pool. But
And
to be
smoking
honest,
and drinking.
he is still he's still so very young Heath Ledger. He also doesn't look like he belongs there. He's so pretty.
He has like wrinkly eyes and mouth a little bit when he smiles. So he definitely looks older than high school, which is I mean, par for the course in a 90s film, and
true
also
for the movie. But.
Yeah. I was feeling very attracted to him while watching this movie. So I had to I had to look it up because I was like, he's in high school, so what if he's young? But he was
actually in high school.
He was 20 when he filmed this. So I was like,
oh no.
As a person in my 30s, still not great. But I'm not gonna go to jail.
That is all that matters.
I regret saying that out loud.
This podcast is not an admission of guilt. It cannot be used in a court of law.
Oh no. Now I sound like such a perv. Just the fact that I looked up his age. So that, I mean, basically whether I would feel guilty or not guilty about being attracted to him in this movie.
Those couples with large age gaps are going to be out for blood with you, Rachel. And that's just something you're newly going to have to accept.
Oh my God, I'm going to get so
every
much,
progressive
so many
couple
trolls
with a 10-year age gap is going to absolutely hate on you on Twitter with your black
I can
underwear.
take it.
Bio.
I'll fucking. I went from black underwear to trashing people with age gaps. It's perfect. So glad that I did this.
This is fine.
So, context, there's a party going down at a house. One of David Krumholtz, the nerdy guy, he recreates a poster for like basically like a nerdy chess.
He was
chess
mad
party
at the nerds, and the nerds were having like a small gathering, and he changed the poster to be for a huge rager. And so that's like the thing that Bianca wants to go to. And they're trying to get Kat to go to so that Bianca can go to the party. Bowie Loganstein?
With Joey.
Bogey Lowenstein.
Yeah, Bowie Loganstein.
Bowie Lowenstein. Fuck.
That's the party. That's the guy's in the house who's a nerd who they've now tricked into having a huge kegger.
Oh, not even tricked.
Guy. He's probably panicking.
Literally,
not even chat. Just took over his house.
He's like at his house. And the doorbell rings and he's like, that must be the Brie. And then people just like shove into his house with kegs. I want to go back before we talk about the party though.
Yes.
There's a scene that I think is very funny where Bianca's trying to go to this party and then Patrick shows up to take Kat to the party and she's just like, okay, I guess I'm going to this party. But the dad is like, okay, you have to put on the belly before you go to this party. And Bianca's like, no, please don't make me put on the belly. And he's like, if you think about kissing a boy, I want you to remember what this feels like. And he literally brings out this like fake pregnancy belly. But it's like full body, like boobs, pregnant belly. And she has to put on the belly before she goes to this party.
Just so she knows what it feels like.
So she knows what it feels like to be pregnant.
She has to wear it to the party, or it's just a pre-party ritual?
It's a protective device so that she has a memory of the belly as she goes to this party.
Okay. All right.
It's a great scene.
It's
true. It's true fatherly love.
Yes. But also there's a funny moment where like Patrick's there and they're going to the party And Patrick is like, who knocked up your sister? But it's like clearly
It's just a thing.
the belly. Quote the belly, unquote. But yeah, so then this party
So they
happens.
get to the party. Now, I have to say, even though this is like a party that was enforced upon this guy, has anyone ever been to a party like this in high school?
No.
I've never been to a party like
Never. I've
The
yet
party
to
had
be
a
to a party
DJ.
like that.
this.
No, that's not true. I had. Oh no, I haven't been.
Have you? I don't know.
Absolutely not. To a DJ? No.
Yeah, it was just.
I've never
like
been to a
huge
party
rave
like
party.
this in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I definitely went to parties in high school. Mom, don't listen to this podcast. But it was like 12 people, maybe 20 people. Like it was never. It always seems like there are 300 people at this party.
At these parties in the movies.
So JGL is there as well with David Krumholtz. They like put on suits and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they got.
There's a
real
whole
slicked
scene
up
where
for
they're
this
like
party.
getting ready and they're deciding whether they should wear ties or not. It's very cute.
And obviously Bianca goes with Joey, the douche, who's a model / actor as well.
Is he an actor?
So there's a whole
Oh yeah, he
storyline
does
of him.
commercials. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, he does commercials for like hemorrhoid cream. He's talking about.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I had a boss that used to joke with me that that's what I was gonna do. Embarrassing.
Hemorrhoid
So
cream
to that, I'm
commercials?
taking my. Oh yeah, yeah. He was like, "Oh, Lanka, you want to be an actor? Bet you you're just
That's
gonna
your
get
third
hemorrhoid cream
one. Is that your
commercials."
third one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We're getting this done.
Wow.
Fuck
Wow.
you, Matt.
Alenka's not even drinking to the movie. Alenka's drinking to things she hates in general.
I'm cool
I
with it.
can't pick with this movie.
It's still on brand for the movie, I would say, to drink to things that you just hate to in life. That wasn't a sentence.
Oh yeah.
Yuck.
How was that one, Alenka?
Yuck.
What do you have as a chaser?
Yuck. Well, fun fact. So my dad does this thing with juices that he takes the juice, drinks some of it, and then adds lemon juice, just straight lemon juice to pretty much all the juice. So it's a concoction of some grapefruit juice, but mostly lemon juice. Is it good?
Why?
Not really. My dad's foreign. We don't ask why.
Okay. Whew.
It's absurd.
My bad on that.
Is that your autobiography title, Alenka?
Absolutely. Milosh, my dad is foreign.
I love it.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
So, this party scene, this is where the Jose Cuervo reference comes from.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
So, the major things in the party is that Bianca isn't having that great of a time with Joey.
Well, she's
he
with
seems
Joey,
like a little bit of a.
And like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is sad that she's there with Joey. And Kat is mad at Joey. So that's when Kat takes shots, like very large shots of tequila.
Oh no.
And eventually Kat, who
She's
is
sick.
not this people pleaser. Oh, man. She's like at this party and she's doing shots and she's partying and she eventually gets up on a table and does a table dance, which truthfully
really hip hop dance.
I feel like this was around
seems
Save the
out
World
of
Dance, so it's very
Well, I was like, there's nothing whiter than Julia Stiles dancing to hip hop. And then I also thought, was this her audition for Save the Last Dance?
You can do it. Put your back into it.
Oh no.
I feel like that song is used in both movies.
Yeah. The reference. So Joey
She demanded it.
like grabs Bianca. Joey grabs Bianca and is like, "Oh, we're all hanging around Mr. Cuervo." Like that's like a reference in the movie. And when I first saw this movie, I for sure thought like they're just randomly referencing some old dude they're gonna go hang around at the party.
We're gonna go hang with Jose.
I wouldn't have caught it. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Died for us.
But yeah, I don't know. Like
I think I'm I think I'm going to dig a shot though for Jewel for.
I also
White
wanted
Girls
to do
Dancing
that, but that's
Hip-Hop.
my third. So I'm like, should I wait?
Okay, we'll save yours.
Okay.
I still have 2 more to do.
Oh,
So
what are you doing?
You do?
God.
no, I have just one and one more.
He has 4. He's got to do the 4th.
Oh, that's right. That's
I'm
right.
doing the 4th. You can't split 10 by 3.
Yeah, I mean, like, who hasn't danced on a table after drinking tequila?
Most,
it's just very
I think.
That's true.
relatable.
Yeah.
But also, like, who hasn't drank because they're mad at somebody and just like ended up
literally
being too drunk
always.
because they decided to drink instead of confront someone? I don't know.
Wait,
yeah,
you
so
guys
she's
don't do that?
Oh, I have done that
You guys don't do that?
several times. Mom, don't listen to this podcast.
Always.
Can't believe that's my tagline now.
Yeah.
You got the tequila
and then you
courage.
end up confronting them anyways. And exactly. And then it ends up way, way worse. Had you just talked to them in the first place.
Worse.
Because now you're crying.
Yeah,
in
so
the
she's
bathroom.
doing her table dance, and she hits her head on a chandelier because that's what you do in rich people's houses.
Idiot.
So then Patrick is there, and he like takes her outside, and is like, "You might have a concussion. Don't fall asleep." But she's had like 5 shots of tequila, so she's like, "But please let me go to sleep." And they like sit on the swings for a bit. Once again, rich people. And she ends up
their own swing set in a house.
She ends up throwing
In
up
the
on his
house?
shoes. No, it's outside the house. Yeah, it's outside.
Less bougie.
But still. But yeah, so she ends up puking because who hasn't puked on someone's shoes after drinking too much tequila?
Well, also swinging. Like, that seemed like a...
She wasn't swinging. She was
choice.
just sitting. She was just sitting on a swing. But still, like...
He wasn't vigorously pushing her on the swing.
If someone's
causing her
too
to-
drunk, don't put them on a swing.
Yeah.
Just a bad move.
That's not the best idea.
Their stability's all out of whack.
Exactly. That's actually a bit in the movie. So you seem very in tune with this movie, even though you haven't seen it.
Well, it sounds like my life a little bit.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
she
meanwhile, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is just a shitty sad boy because he's like, she doesn't like
The
me.
saddest boy.
Bianca doesn't like me. But so he's all, sulking outside, and Heath Ledger suddenly becomes like not some like I don't care asshole and is inspirational suddenly.
Or
he gives him a whole speech of like, you like the girl? Then go and tell her that. Just go and get the girl or something.
Well, he
yeah.
become likable.
Well, and Heath Ledger drive. Sorry?
His character has to become likable. So they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he does have a sweet side. They're like, oh, maybe that's all a facade.
Yeah, well, because he drives Kat home and she like goes in to kiss him and he doesn't kiss her because she's drunk, which is also very progressive for 1999.
Totally. It's supposed to show that he's a good guy.
He's so good.
Because he doesn't take advantage of drunk women. That's the bar.
Wow.
Too bad that
God, the
didn't
bar is
uphold
so
into
low.
the 21st century.
Oh man, the bar is in hell.
But then she gets very upset at him for not reciprocating the kiss
Because she's
of course
drunk on tequila.
Yeah.
Tequila.
But then she kind of continues that upsetness later, but we'll get to that. But then Joey leaves the party with Gabrielle Union instead of Bianca.
Who dat?
And Bianca, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like very obvious about leaving the party, and he's like, I hope you had fun. Which but then she's like, hey, can you drive me home? And he does because he's a nice guy, I guess.
And I guess not drunk. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
see,
know
that's
I mean?
what I don't understand about these parties is like everyone seems to be raging, but then lots of people drive home. Oh, this is what Will said. Joey leaves the party with Gabrielle Union because Bianca's not having fun. And Joey's like, let's go to this after party. And she's like, oh no, I can't. Like, my curfew is soon. But then he just like asks her friend, and her friend is like, sure. Which honestly, what happened to the girl code?
True.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Um,
So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is suddenly, instead of being all sulky, he's like, oh yeah, I'll drive you home. Yeah. This is
yeah,
my
she's
shop.
like, can you drive me home?
And he drives her home, and he then just like lays into her about how she's a terrible person that treats people terribly because he likes her
selfish.
so much, and she's using him. And the quickest way to the girl's heart is by negging her. So,
But isn't it? Is it not? Every girl loves a good neg. It's true.
I don't love it.
I
But again,
love
I think
it.
it's too early to
I
take my
do.
third shot.
all right.
I do.
Fine, it'll
Love
be
it.
me. I will absolutely drink tequila because negging works. It doesn't. For whoever is listening to this, don't neg people.
Mom.
If my mom is listening to this, don't neg people.
Don't neg.
Well,
It doesn't
shot number
work.
3. Cheers.
Oh. Chase it now.
See, the
Will,
problem.
I have been impressed with your reactions to the tequila, for sure.
Oh,
Oh.
God. The problem is that I put tequila in my chaser as well.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
That's not what you're
this
supposed to do.
podcast does. No, it is.
Look.
This is exactly what you're supposed to do.
I made a choice. Oh, that's warm. That's warm going
Oh.
down.
You made that choice.
Ow.
Look, I hate negging. I had to do it. Moving on.
Not worth it.
We're now back in English class.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, I also wrote down, I love cool teachers who swear. That's what I wrote down.
he is this when he
But we
raps
do.
Shakespeare too?
Don't pretend you don't. Oh no.
He raps Shakespeare, and he's all like,
And everyone's like, oh.
and he also says, and he swears.
He's mean to his
But everyone does
students.
love that teacher.
He is actually.
You guys don't like that?
I get in high school I would have been like, what a cool teacher. Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Cool guy.
But
Oh, yeah, I've grown out
he
of that.
assigns a poetry, like a poem assignment where you have to write a sonnet,
Poem.
a poem.
Sorry.
And like Kat puts up her hand and he's just like, all right, fine, what is your goddamn question? And she's like, do you want this in iambic pentameter? So she's like being a good student for once and not talking about the patriarchy this time. And but then he's just like mean to her anyway. So I don't know. But that leads into
Yeah.
I needed to mention that because that leads into something at the end. So spoiler.
Oh, do you know what we totally forgot?
What?
So while Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like negging her in the car after the party, she kisses him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So once again, kids, negging works.
Negging does work.
Fuck this
It is
stupid movie.
foolproof.
Oh my god, I didn't even check to see if I could say fuck, and I've said it so many times.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
as I've said
You
before on
ask
this show,
every time. Too.
we are syndicated on NPR. You cannot.
Oh no. Just bleep me. Just bleep me out.
You absolutely can. The internet is a free for all.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. No.
Free speech.
Okay,
But yeah,
Kat.
after I'm just gonna keep rolling because I'm drunk on tequila now. So this is when we find out it's like a new scene, and they're once again like Kat's back to playing soccer, and this is when they realize that Kat is still mad at Patrick, and they're trying to figure out how to make Kat not mad at Patrick anymore.
Now this is where Kat's friend is not introduced, but she suddenly plays a bigger role.
I didn't write anything down about her because that's like a B story that I don't care about at all.
I know. All I wrote was that quoting Shakespeare is so hard in sarcastic quotations. So basically, David Krumholtz's character, the nerdy character, approaches this girl because she has like Shakespeare in her locker, like posters. She loves Shakespeare. This is Kat's friend, and he quotes Shakespeare, and she's all like enamored by him. And he's like getting to know her, but wanting to know more about, you know, how Kat could be like, you know, seduced by Patrick a bit more.
Oh,
So
that's why I wrote down sarcastic quotes quoting Shakespeare is so hard.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's a lot to remember.
It is. It's very iambic pentameter.
It's hard.
And whatnot.
Whatnot.
I really don't understand Shakespeare at all. And I took a full Shakespeare class in university. But it was one of those classes where I would literally look at the clock and be like, time literally always ticks on, and I will eventually get out of this class.
That sounds like a waste.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not smart enough to understand Shakespeare, and yet I have a degree in drama.
However you want.
It's so hard.
Yeah. So one thing we didn't mention was that Kat has been pulling down all the posters for prom like the entire movie.
Right.
She's just been ripping them down.
Oh, she's angsty.
Because she's a hardcore feminist.
Yeah. Because she doesn't have someone to
Because prom is
with,
dumb.
No,
it's actually just
she's
very
sour because she doesn't have anybody to go with.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
So we are hitting the scene that you know about, Alenka.
Okay.
I can't wait to describe this scene to you.
So let's describe it. Rachel, you go ahead and describe it.
Thank you so much, William. They decide that because Kat is still mad, that Heath Ledger needs to do something to like hurt his pride, essentially, because her pride is hurt, and now he needs to like do something that makes him look like an idiot. So this is when the scene in the bleachers happens, and he like pays the band off, and he like grabs his microphone, and it's just like, "You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much." And then it just continues on. And that's when the band comes in, and he's in the bleachers, and he does his like running dance. And the like band is doing their like da 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 da, and then he continues to sing. And it's truly a joyous scene. And I think that he's singing. I tried to Google this the other day, and I couldn't find any definitive answer, but I'm pretty sure it's him singing. And then the security guards come, and he like gets out of their grasp and like still does his little bleacher dance, and is eventually like taken off by security. And Kat is smiling, so you know that it worked. And that's like one of the very famous scenes that happen in this film.
I have
super famous.
Yeah.
But he ends up in detention.
Oh my.
And now she's forgiven him for not kissing her while she's drunk, which is that part is kind of like, I feel like in the writer's room, they're like, how do we make them mad at each other at this point? What's going on here?
What can we do?
Horrible.
So he's in detention, and she is like, I'm going to get him out of detention. She walks into the
This
detention.
is also a
the
bad
person,
scene.
the teacher. It is. The teacher running detention, I think, is like the girls' soccer coach. Yeah, because he disrupted the soccer practice, basically. And she comes in and is like, I think I know some strategies for beating the team next week. And, you know, we always lose to them. And she's trying to distract him while Heath Ledger is like sneaking out the window of the detention room. But the worst, the bad part of this scene is that while he's trying to he's like looking around and she's trying to focus his attention on her, she just flashes him.
She's talking about how they need to like distract the other team so that they can like go around and score. And he's like, well, how, like the teacher is like, how are we supposed to do that? And she's like, oh, like this, and like lifts up her top.
It's a lady.
It's the main character. It's Julia Stiles lifting up her top to the
it's a male soccer coach. Yeah.
Yes.
Pardon me.
Yep. I guess did you take
detention?
your third shot yet? This would be a good time to do so.
Oh, no, I did. She got expelled for that?
No.
Teacher got fired for that?
No.
Nothing. They continued.
No, they just leave it alone.
Nothing happened.
He says nothing for that.
She's 18, so apparently that's fine.
It's completely, that's how you get out of detention in Seattle.
Anyway,
that's absurd.
Heath Ledger got out of the window, so apparently it was worth it.
And then they end up on
kids
a pedal
don't
boat.
flash your teachers.
That's disgusting.
And then they end up in a pedal boat.
Yes.
A pedo boat?
No.
Because that's what it sounds like they were heading for. A pedo boat. Does seem like they were well prepped.
Very close. Very close.
Oh my god.
No, they end up in a pedal, like a pedal. You pedal the boat.
Paddle boat.
Paddle.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I say pedal because it's the boat that you pedal like a bike.
I know.
I don't think that. I think they're paddle boats.
Are they called
they
paddle
are
boats?
too.
Because I picture more canoe-y.
You know what they're not called?
Pedo boats?
Foot boats. Obviously.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway. So
somehow they end up at that's like their first date. They're like not first date.
They're
but
like learning
skipping
things
school
about each other, and they're being honest with each other finally, and they're like actually dating.
Nice.
But they they go to this paintball place, and this is one of those things that like stuck with me through my whole life, where like it seems like they really just like dipped like round balls in paint, and then you like throw those at each other. And I always wanted that
guns.
paintball. It's not guns.
Yeah. No.
It's paintball.
It's like actual balls of paint that you throw at each other.
And I was like, well, if that's paintball, I want to do paintball, but I've only ever found like shooting each other with pellets paintball, which I don't want to do. Don't bruise my beautiful body.
That's true.
Rude.
I love that. Maybe it's the DIY version.
So then they make out covered in paint
kiss.
on a big bale of hay.
Well, he said make out. Did they make out or did they kiss?
I mean,
they made out.
They kiss and then the camera zooms out and they're making out.
They're definitely making out. 100%.
They're teenagers.
But yeah, they like get to know each other. And they're like still getting to know each other in the next scene. But then he's like, go to prom with me. But she doesn't want to go to prom. She doesn't care about prom at all.
She does.
And he's like being really pushy about it. And she's like, well, what's in it for you? And he's just like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing's in it for me. I'm not taking money to date you. It's fine. he doesn't say that because that would ruin the movie. But he gets very defensive and they like get in another fight, which is the sign of a very healthy relationship when you get in a fight on your first date.
Super, super healthy.
Yeah.
You don't get to judge somebody else's relationship.
And at this point,
you get to judge this movie relationship.
Yeah.
At this point, Bianca and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are an item. They're together now.
Yeah.
So she is an item.
Their storyline is pretty much done.
Okay.
Sort of.
Not totally.
Well,
good.
But like, this is when we finally find out. I don't know if we expressed this earlier, but like, Kat really hates Joey, which is the horrible dude that wants to date Bianca and is like bankrolling the dating Kat thing. But we find out that Kat and Joey used to date, or they dated in junior? No. Freshman?
Yeah.
No. They're very young.
Makes
It's
sense.
like one of the first years of high school. I don't remember the American terms for it, so I get confused.
Sophomore, junior, freshman, senior.
No.
Okay, Will.
Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Oh, I was just saying the terms. I wasn't saying them in order.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I said that in a very bad tone. Please cut that out of the podcast.
You said that like such a shrew.
Wow.
God.
End meeting.
Art imitates life.
But yeah, so we find out that Joey and Kat dated, and Kat found out that like everyone else was having sex, so she felt like she needed to have sex as well. So she had sex with Joey, and then realized, because she was like 15 or something, she was young.
13, probably.
I hope not. Oh my god, it's tiny. But she realized that she wasn't ready. She like didn't like it, and she told him that she wasn't ready, and then he broke up with her because she wouldn't have sex with him again. So he sucks. But yeah,
and
she's telling Bianca this.
Yeah, and it's kind of, he like spread the rumor or spread all the shit about her being like, because one thing that we haven't touched on is that both Kat and Patrick are people that have many rumors about them,
right,
that circulate around the school. Like Patrick ate a goat's stomach or something like that. I forget.
An entire
like weird rumors. An entire duck. That's
except the beak and feet.
It's just the weirdest thing to make a rumor about.
And he was in jail, and there was something else. And she, I mean, to be fair, she apparently like did kick someone in the balls, and his like testicles detached, and there had to be surgery done, and that was actually true. That actually happened.
Yeah, it's a true rumor of the fictional character.
Amazing.
I know, right?
That's amazing. She gets to, for the rest of her life, say, hey, guess what? Don't fuck with me because I kicked someone in the balls so hard their testicles detached.
There you go.
I mean, to be fair, he groped her in the lunch line. So,
that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, she was trying to like protect Bianca from Joey because Joey sucks. But Bianca's like weird about it.
So, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. It's a little, yeah.
She's basically like, let me live my life. Let me make my mistakes.
Yeah. It's like, that doesn't mean you get to block me from living a life.
Yeah. Which like, I guess is
Which
fair.
is kind of right.
I don't know. It's like, it's weird because like Kat kind of turns into her dad because her dad is really overprotective and is trying to like keep them from doing things that might be bad for them. And then she ends up doing that with Bianca.
Well,
this movie is very
and
deep.
they never really touch on, like, we know that like their mom didn't die. She just like ran out,
left.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't really touch on that.
Yeah, that's the thing that we did not talk about at all.
We can infer that the dad is so protective because he's got emotional issues from the mom leaving them.
Yeah. But then we're nearing the end. but now it's
We're
prom.
closing in.
And Bianca.
And again, I asked the question. There's no proms like that where I'm from.
We didn't have a
Just
live
like there was
band
no
at prom.
high school with like a light show. Yeah,
Oh.
no. Like where are you? You're partying with the parties. You're doing the proms like this.
No, I
Come on.
wasn't.
Okay.
I absolutely wasn't.
All right.
I just thought maybe there was a live band at prom, but I don't think so.
We definitely
All
did.
right.
I went with my best
Have a live
friend.
band.
He literally.
Oh yeah, I didn't go
went
with a
my best
boy.
friend. No,
I
I wish I hadn't
No.
gone. It was boring.
I didn't go with a girl
There you go.
or a boy.
He didn't go.
I did go with a girl, but not in a romantic
I did
way.
go.
But yeah, like prom is extremely prom. And like Julia Stiles looks extremely prom. And
Okay.
They all look super.
they all
prommy.
look super prom.
As you
but
would
she's
at
like
prom.
happy to be there with Heath, and he like somehow got her favorite band to like come and sing a song at her prom, and they
Not a possible.
are happy together or whatever. But then Joey tries to pick up Bianca at her house for prom, but she's already gone with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And so he's mad. So he comes up to Heath Ledger and he's like, "What are you doing? I paid you to take out Kat so I could take out Bianca." But then Kat hears him and is like, "Oh, so there is something in it for you. You suck," and like leaves because someone paid.
No one likes to find out they were
Well, yeah, that
actually
sucks.
a prostitute not getting that money
But she
Sex-
wasn't the one getting the money.
Sex
Yeah.
working for
Yeah.
that.
for nothing.
But not
then,
even
like,
really
one of-
sex work. It's not.
No.
She didn't even know that. You know.
Yeah.
This is not a.
Yeah.
You guys are not good at analogies.
Well,
We're doing our best on shots tequila. So.
Which how many do you
So
have
many.
left, Will? 2?
I
Still?
think I have one more,
Yes,
and
I
I
think you
know
have 2 left.
I'm saving it. No, I have one.
I swear you have
He has
2.
No, I've done 3 already.
Mm.
Please don't. I've run out of my chaser,
Please
and I'm not
don't.
getting up to get a new one.
you've run out of your chaser? Rookie move.
Yeah, my cider. So I'm saving my shot for last because I know exactly when I'm going to do it. So.
Okay, that's
Okay, fine.
Um,
Please don't.
anyway.
Jesus.
So one cool thing that happens during the prom is like Joey's being a dick, and he's being a dick to Joseph Gordon-Levitt and to
Mean.
his friend because he's Joey. Or
Mean
whatever.
boy.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then Bianca comes up and literally punches him in the face at prom. And is like,
punches
"This is
Joey.
for me. This is for my sister. This is for Joseph Gordon-Levitt." And she just like knees him in the balls, and it's amazing.
Nice.
But
And
like,
his testicles detach.
apparently not. But apparently he
Oh.
had like a nasal spray ad to do tomorrow. So
Oh,
he's
shit.
mad that
'Cause he's a model.
he got punched in the nose. Yeah.
So
But then, like,
specific.
It's
Yeah.
still sad because Kat's sad. And she's like running
Mhm.
off, and Heath is sad because his secret's out, but he actually likes her. It's a whole
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
we get to like the climax. Or is the prom the climax?
Yes.
I don't know
So-
what the climax of this movie is. Was the prom the
Well,
climax, or is
just
this the climax?
No, the prom's kind of a climax, but the end / climax is what you're thinking of.
I feel like
but
I've said climax too many times.
Just before this, though, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like picking up Bianca like the next day to go sailing or something, and Bianca's like, "Kat, why don't you come sailing with us?" And then she's like, "No, it's okay." And then Kat and her dad have like a heartfelt moment, where he kind of reveals that like, because Kat is like resentful of her dad because she thinks that her dad wants her to be more like Bianca, but it's kind of like her dad really actually loves his daughter Kat and how shrewish she is in a way, like that's like he confirms that she was raised well. She's a good person.
Well, yeah, he's talking about how like with Bianca, he can still sort of like give advice and be part of her life, but with Kat, he's been like on the sidelines for a while, and he just sort of like explains why he's been overbearing. It's a nice moment.
That's nice.
Yeah, they hug and yeah. So this is kind of like the climax. We get to English class, the poem assignment.
The sonnet.
Oh, I know what's gonna happen. I know what the sonnet is.
So the cool teacher is like, all right, who wants to read their poem? And like both Kat and Patrick are there. And oh my god. I was gonna ask if I should read the whole thing aloud.
I think you should.
Oh my god. My whole life has
all right, so let's explain it.
I jumped. I read I just want you guys to know, hold on, before we start, I just want you to know I read the first 2 lines and then I skipped right to the ending and I know how this ends. Go on.
Come on.
I don't want to read this whole thing.
Okay, well, I'll read it for you dramatically. It's a dramatic reading.
Thank you.
So Kat is like, fine, I'll read my poem. And she gets up and her poem is the following. I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I hate the way you drive my car. I hate it when you stare. I hate your big dumb combat boots and the way you read my mind. I hate you so much it makes me sick. It even makes me rhyme. I hate the way you're always right. I hate it when you lie. I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call. But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
This sounds so familiar for some reason. Snaps.
But she cries while she's reading it because she's upset and she like runs out of the room. Because that's what you can do in high school English class, I guess.
Yeah. You can totally do that.
I've done that.
Before she reads the poem and she like volunteers to read her poem, the teacher has such, even though before this he also has, but I also wrote it down here, he has such open disdain for her. It's like you should probably get fired.
Everyone in that school should be fired. Every single adult should be fired from that school.
Gym teacher.
Every guidance counselor, the gym teacher, that English teacher, everyone.
Pretty much.
It's a public school.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So she reads the poem and she's in tears, and Heath Ledger hears it. He sees it.
Yeah, it's emotional.
And that is the scene before the last scene.
Yeah. So then she's like, she goes down to her car and she opens the door, and the guitar she had her eye on, that he like saw that she had her eye on, is in the back seat. And he's there and she's just like, you bought me a guitar? And he's like, yeah, I had a lot of extra money. And then she's just like, they kiss and she's like, you can't just buy me instruments whenever you fuck up. And he's like, yeah, but there's like drum sets and like eventually a tambourine.
Guitars. Yeah.
And that's literally the end of the movie. And then there's like a weird music
they kiss
where they're on top of the school.
They kiss and the camera is like a fly out. They fly out of the car over the school, which I'm like, do they go to Hogwarts? Because this is like
it's a huge school,
castle of a school. Yeah. And then on the roof is a feminist girl rock band playing music.
I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you, love me. I'm begging you to beg me. That's all I know, so I'm going to stop there.
And I'm going to shoot to that one.
I feel like I'm going to be really mad at my singing voice when I eventually listen to this episode.
Oh yeah, that's going to be our previews for
No.
I personally really enjoyed your rendition of whatever the Bleacher song was again.
You're just too good to be true
already.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
But one thing I wanted to mention, like at the end of the movie, they do bloopers, and I love bloopers.
They do.
Yes. Me too.
And you know
What was
what?
the
They're
best
very
one?
tame bloopers. They're not
so
like
tame.
super hilarious.
No.
They're like
It's not even worth it a little bit, but I love bloopers
there's a
enough
lot
that I
of
was
there's
like,
a lot of dead space.
yeah. I appreciate that they did bloopers, but I wish they were better bloopers. I love bloopers. It just like it makes me feel good because it seems like they like have fun when they're filming, and I like that.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know. I feel like I should do a half shot because we're done, and apparently this
It's the end
tequila
of the
didn't
movie.
destroy me.
You
No, I'm not
made
gonna.
it.
I
That's
have
the
like
end.
half of it still. Are you doing half two? Or are we doing a half together? Let's do a half.
Oh my god. Really? I did my last one without Chaser.
Oh, I don't have one either, actually.
Look.
Oh
that's
god,
not,
another half.
Let's do it. One half.
Half a
Wait,
I have
chat.
to call my mom after this.
You're gonna call your mom.
Oh, brutal.
Ooh, I have no chase. No chase.
Me neither.
Ooh.
You know
Just
what? You
hand
guys are still in
motions.
your 20s. You'll be fine.
But at the tail end of them,
Yeah, I know.
like it's not.
I am.
Sure,
I
you
turned
can
32
say
this
we're
year.
Still in our 20s. All right, you win, oldest person in the group chat. Look, congratulations.
Oh, I regret that. I regret saying that. I hate being the oldest person. Now I'm just noticing
It's
my like
fine.
mouth wrinkles while we're talking.
Oh my god, stop it. Please stop it.
You're not. It's all good. Rachel, you're a delight.
You could have fooled me for being 22. When you said, no, he was 20 and I was
Oh
in
my god,
times.
we're
I was like,
friends now. This was so fun. If you like get to a point where you want to have someone like people do doubles, I want to come back.
oh, absolutely.
Yes. And then we'll be
Absolutely.
doing shots of Patron at that point. So
Because we'll be
That's-
sponsored.
Sponsored by Patron.
exactly.
If you
That's
get
what's
sponsored by
happening.
Patron, please
Be
let me
so
know.
excited.
I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that was 10 things I hate about you.
10 things I hate about
10
you.
things I love about you, more like.
Exactly.
I was pleased with this. Although, if I look back at that poem, is there actually 10 things? It's 10. Or
I
is
feel
that
like
just the
people
title she gave her?
have looked that up, and I don't think it's 10, but I might just be making that up.
So, guys, if you loved the voice of our delightful guest, where can they follow you,
Oh
Rachel?
my gosh. You can follow me on Twitter at Barnshow, BARNSHOW. It's the same on Instagram, but there's a dot between barn and show. I like to get drunk and put my talking head on my Instagram stories. So if you like when drunk people yell at you via Instagram, please feel free to follow.
That is our main fan base.
It is also literally my favorite type of social media content.
Really? Alenka, follow me.
Well, guys, if you want to follow Haven't Seen a Podcast on Instagram, we are at Haven't Seen a Podcast. On Facebook, we are at Haven't Seen a Podcast. On Twitter, we are at haven't_seen_it. And we can go to our website, haven'tseenapodcast.com. That's where you're going to find all our episodes, as well as pictures of our drinks and descriptions of our drinks. Just a whole bunch of fun stuff on there.
Thank you for listening. As always, especially now, stay spicy. Viewers, stay safe and wash your goddamn hands.